Holy shit, we made it to 200 subscribers, guys. Everybody give yourselves a round of applause. Everybody, come on. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for subscribing, for all your support, for watching the videos, for liking them, for commenting, for all your interaction and support. Thank you so much. We hit our goal of 200, a whopping 200 subscribers. I said it about 100, and I'll say it again for 200. It's not a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, and especially compared to like the big YouTubers, but you know what? It's a big deal to me, and I just want to say thank you so much. I feel so lucky. So many of you are leaving such kind comments and reassuring comments on my videos, and it's really nice to see. It really helps keep me motivated, and it makes me feel really good about what I'm doing, and I'm just really, really glad that you guys are enjoying my content. Thank you again so much. So, I don't want to spend the entire video gushing over this. Let's just get right into it. So, the early access beta for Modern Warfare 2 on PlayStation is over, sadly. I hope you guys got a chance to play the game if you pre-ordered on PlayStation. But welcome to the channel, guys. My name's Oscar Mikey, and today we're going to talk about just kind of my overall impressions of Modern Warfare 2 with the time that I got to play it this weekend. Overall, right off the bat, I want to say that I liked it a lot. Overall, it feels very similar to Modern Warfare 2019, which I think is a pretty good thing. I really enjoyed Modern Warfare 2019 and its game mechanics and its overall style and how it played and everything. So I'm glad they kind of brought that back. But that doesn't mean it's exactly like Modern Warfare 2019. The game's seen some pretty nice visual updates and some refinements to controls. It feels much tighter and, yeah, just like way more refined. I think that's the best word to use to describe it. It's still fast like Call of Duty should be, but the movement feels way more evenly tuned, and there's a couple of new features in there that gives the players some options, like the ability to hang off ledges and use your sidearm if you want. But I found this to be kind of annoying in multiplayer. I wish I could actually just turn it off, because I found myself kind of grappling on ledges and then sticking to them for a second a lot of the time, which I definitely don't want in the competitive game modes. I just want to be able to vault over really quickly. Gameplay is great. The weapons look and feel great. They handle well. They're really loud, though. I think one of my critiques from spending time with this beta is that the weapons could be turned down a little bit in the volume department, because they're like fuck you levels of loud.
UAV online. Reloading. Changing max.
There was a bug in the beta that allowed players to unlock the MP5, which you weren't supposed to do with the normal kind of locked progression, but there was a bug that allowed you to do it, and the MP5 was actually an amazing weapon. I saw plenty of people running around using it, and people were just cleaning house with it. It was really kind of overpowered. So I think that's probably something else they could look into, a little bit of weapon balancing before release. Some kind of smaller, but I think pretty exciting things in the controls and options that I want to share with you guys. There's an ADS sensitivity multiplier. I think that was in 2019 as well, but it makes a return here. You can now change how armor plates behave in Warzone. So when you hit the button to add an armor plate to your character, so if you wanted to just add one armor plate and then stop, you can set it up that way, or you can just have it continuously add armor plates until you're full up. Now this is where it gets kind of interesting. There's a couple of cool graphics options for console players now. You've got your standard stuff like motion blur, film grain, depth of field. That was all there in Modern Warfare 2019. But now you have a Fidelity FX contrast-based adaptive sharpening slider. This is great, so you have built-in native kind of sharpening that you can adjust yourself. And it works really well, actually. I maxed mine out after I discovered it was there. By default, I think this game and Modern Warfare 2019 were kind of blurry for some reason. I always thought they were just kind of blurry and out of focus. Not very sharp looking for some weird reason. But maxing this slider out really helps with the sharpness and brings the game to life. It just makes everything feel more sharp and just detailed and stuff. It looks really good. This is an amazing addition. Console players now have an FOV slider. Holy shit, guys. How long have you guys been asking for an FOV slider for? You finally got one. So now if you play Modern Warfare on console, and I'm assuming this is going to work in Warzone too, you can adjust your FOV slider to be competitive with PC players. This is pretty huge, and I think this is going to level the playing field pretty well. It's going to ensure that PC players don't have an unfair advantage in terms of how much of the battlefield they can see at one time. Now you have the same option as PC players, and you can change it as you want. And then also kind of related to that, there's a third-person FOV slider. So fun fact, if you didn't know this, Modern Warfare 2 is including a third-person competitive multiplayer mode. It was available on the weekend, and I did play it a little bit. I'm going to put out another video showcasing some gameplay, and it's really interesting. It's kind of weird, to be honest. Call of Duty has been an FPS for its entire lifespan. The very first Call of Duty was an FPS, and it's been that way ever since. But now, for whatever reason, they decided to do a third-person perspective in one of their game modes. It's kind of bizarre, kind of weird. Whenever you ADS in this game mode, it does revert back to first person, so you can actually look down your sights. But when you're wandering around, when you're running around the map, it's just in third person. One final thing I want to talk about before I show you guys some more gameplay, I want to talk about the gunsmith system. So I reposted a video from Call of Duty Infinity Ward on my Twitter. It's a couple of the developers talking through the gunsmith system and explaining how it's going to work in this new game. So it's not exactly the same as Modern Warfare 2019, but it's still pretty much identical with one minor change. Weapons are now going to belong to kind of weapon trees or categories, and they're doing this using receivers. So let's take the M4 for example. That's going to be a 5.56 AR-15 receiver, and that receiver is going to be the base or the platform for a few different weapons.
My name is Ben Garnell, principal artist. What they're going to see first of all is the M4 platform, and what you're going to notice is not only in this title are you able to change out the stock, optic, etc., but this time there's actually an extra slot, and that is for the receiver.
You have a platform of weapons, which is a family of weapons. Once you get to a receiver unlock within your first weapon, that's when you unlock another weapon. And those modifications that you have already unlocked for the previous weapon now work on that weapon too.
The receiver this time is driving gunsmith as it would be in reality, and each of these separate receivers have their own unique progression.
So the receiver for the assault rifle will remain for that assault rifle. But if it's a receiver for the SMG within that platform and you switch to that receiver, then you have the SMG in place. But the modifications that you have already previously done on that assault rifle can move over to that SMG build.
Each of those shared attachments that you unlock is now cross-progressible and attachable onto another weapon in the same class.
This takes away from the grind of having to unlock every single attachment on each weapon every time they want to level up a weapon. What this does is it shows you that one grip that you unlocked on the first weapon is now usable on a different weapon within that platform.
So obviously you've got the M4, you also have the M16, there's also the 5.56 Icarus, which is a light machine gun variant. There's the FTAC Recon, which is kind of an upgraded higher caliber version of the platform. It's a .458 battle rifle, kind of like a DMR style rifle, more powerful, less shots in a magazine, but much more powerful. And then you have the FSS Hurricane, which is kind of a weird one. It's built like a P90 and it has different behavioral characteristics. It operates differently and handles differently than the M4. So basically you have a starting weapon in a series of weapons that use the same kind of platform. So the M4 is the base for the 5.56 AR-15 style weapons, and the more you play with the M4, the more of these variants you unlock. And then a lot of the attachments you unlock for the M4 are going to be cross-compatible with those other weapons. So things like grips, optics, and muzzle devices are going to be cross-compatible with all of those weapons, which I think is a nice change. I hate kind of grinding out attachments for weapons that are very similar, kind of in the same class. I like that they did this. It's going to make it much easier to customize different weapons in the same kind of family tree, weapon family tree. I did a little bit of customizing. I played around with a bunch of the weapons. The M4 is cool. I like it. I like the 5.56 guns. It felt a little bit weak to me. It was a little bit too basic, and as soon as you put a suppressor on there, it just kills the damage range on it. It sounds and feels cool, but the damage drops off really hard, and I found it really difficult to take out targets at range with this. And another weapon that I liked was actually the AK-74U. This thing was actually super fun. It sounds amazing and it looks amazing. The reload animation is cool as hell, and it actually has the ability to punch through walls a little bit. You can get some penetration with this thing. This gun you could not customize in Gunsmith. I used it a lot, but I didn't unlock any attachments for it, unfortunately. You can only use it in its stock form. Also, going back to the 5.56 guns, I did not like the FTAC Recon. It was kind of like a 3-shot kill weapon. To take somebody out with it, to beat somebody with just like even a basic M4, you had to tap fire the shit out of it. You had to just go ham. As soon as you see somebody, just finger bang the hell out of that fire button and hope that you take them out first.
got your back.
Our counter is active. The lead is ours.
But anyway, those are kind of my brief first impressions and overall thoughts on the game so far. I wish I could have played it for more, but I only had a chance to play it for like 10 hours. I was actually really busy this past weekend. But there is another beta coming this weekend, and this one is going to be completely open to everybody on all platforms. So it doesn't matter where you play. If you're playing on Xbox or PC, you'll be able to play this game this coming weekend. So do yourself a favor, download it, play it, see what you think, and maybe I'll see you out there. Maybe we'll shoot each other up a little bit. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm taking a little bit of a break from the cinematic type content. Call of Duty has just been kind of taking over all my time at the moment. I'm actually really excited about this game. I hope you guys are too. And I just want to say one more time, thank you so much for getting us over 200. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching the videos, for commenting, for liking. It means so much to me. And now I think my next goal is 500. Thanks again, guys. I'll talk to you in the next video.